investors have come in. Government efforts to attract foreign investments have had to contend with the negative effects of the cancellation of big contracts involving foreign parties. The most glaring example is the Lake Laguna Development Authority project, which has resulted in a multi-billion peso legal claim against the government filed by the billion partners. Tourism had been targeted as a major money maker. Thus, the President declared an open skies policies even without full reciprocal rights for the Philippine flag carrier. But the international aviation downgrade on Ninoy Aquino International Airport continues, while NAIA 3 remains the subject of an unresolved legal dispute and has not been made fully operational. Of course, hindi ko sinisisi ang administration. There are no even decent lavatories and lounges for arriving or departing passengers. The support system for world-class tourism is simply not there. And Hong Kong, the US, UK, Australia, and New Zealand have cancelled their travel advisories, have not cancelled their travel advisories against the Philippines. For the first time in memory, a new government appropriated nothing with infrastructures or for infrastructure. It wanted to report savings. So not a single infrastructure project was undertaken during the year. Many frontline departments, like the Department of Foreign Affairs, suffered arbitrary cuts. The highly favored DSWD alone got a bloated largesse of 21.9 billion pesos in conditional cash transfer. We are going back to a dole-out mentality system. Of course, hindi ko sinisisi ang departments were told to withhold 20% of their respective budgets as saving. So economic activity contracted. And while some economists were trying to cope with the recession exported from the transatlantic crisis, our economic planners seem to be trying to create one for the Philippines. Not a single project under the much ballyhooed PPP was awarded either. The TPLEX or Tarlac, Pampanga and La Union Expressway project could end up being counted as a PPP project, but it was begun 3.5 years ago before the PPP program was announced. Beloved, what is the poverty picture? The nation's wealth may have grown in real terms, but new forms of poverty have appeared and the inequalities have grown sharper. Between the super rich and the dirt poor is a yawning gulf, and nothing is at work to make the poverty more bearable. And many of those who have turned politics into a lucrative family business are as rich as the poorest of the poor are poor. Of course, hindi ko sinisisi ang administrasyon. According to one research firm, the gap between the rich and the poor is wider in the Philippines than that in Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam. In Metro Manila, the scavengers who once found a haven in Smoky Mountain before it was transformed into a settlement had reappeared in Payatas and other places. But even scavenging seems no longer as lucrative as before. Of course, hindi ko sinisisi ang administrasyon. Sabi ng isang mangalakal o mga kalkal ng basura, noon ang buhay ay isang kahig, isang tuka. Ngayon, sa hirap ng panahon, kahit kami ng kahit bago makatuka. Of course, hindi ko sinisisi ang administrasyon. Kahit sa mga namamasukan, hindi gaanong naiiba ang kanilang kalagayan. At tanghap pa rin ang kanilang pantawid gutom. Ang pinagsamang almusal, tanghalian at hapunan. Buto ng isda ang kanilang mainit na sabaw kung sila'y mayroong sabaw na espesyal. Nais kong bigyang diin, hindi ko sinisisi ang administrasyon. Dati, itinatapon ito ng mga tindera sa palengke, sa mga pusa at asong naghihintay. Pero ngayon, ito'y ipinagbibili na sa mga mahihirap natin mga kababayan. At ang kawawang aso at pusa ang magugutom pagdating ng araw. Hindi ko rin sinisisi ang administrasyon. Isang nanay sa Isabela na nasiraan ng bait matapos malipasan ng gutom, pinatay ang sariling sanggol at kinain ang laman. Ang halos ganitong pangyayari ay nabasa lamang natin sa nobela ni Gat Jose Rizal. Inulit ni Gat Amado Hernandez sa kanyang tula ng kanyang sabihin, tulad mo ay si huli, inaliping bayad utang, tulad mo ay si sisa, binaliw ng kahirapan. Pero kahit si sisa, walang pinatay na sanggol upang kainin ang laman. Inuulit ko, hindi ko sinisisi ang administrasyon. Subalit, nangyari kaya ito kung ang naturang nanay ay narating at nabahiganan ng 21.9 billion conditional cash transfer na sinimulan ng dating administrasyon. Subalit hindi dapat ipagpatuloy na tayo ay magkaroon ng dole-out mentality. Saan na ba nakarating ang pera yan? At iyan nga ba ang gamot sa ating kahirapan? Alam nyo, ating pinaparusahan ng ating OFWs. Palagay ko, balikan natin sandali ang ating mga overseas Filipino workers. Sila, di umano, ang sabi ng dating Pangulo, ang mga bagong bayani ng ating bayan. Sila ba ay bagong bayani? Dahil lang sa sila ay nag-remit ng maraming pera? Kung walang nag-remit, bayani ba sila? Tuwan-tuwa ang ating Bangko Sentral na mayroon silang naimbag na $18.8 billion nitong nakaraang taon sa kaban ng bayan. Subalit tama kaya na silang kumikita ng tulyar para sa Bangko Sentral ay silang una ring nalulugi sa palitan ng piso at tulyar? Of course! Hindi ko sinisisi ang administrasyon ito. Sa halip na maraming piso ang matatanggap nila sa bawat dolyar, maliit na lamang ito sapagkat tumakas daw ang piso sa pagpasok ng naparami nilang dolyar. Matanong ko kaya ang ating mga mahihirap na kababayan, nung tumaas ba ang piso, umunlad ba ang antas? ng buhay ng ating mga mahihirap. Hindi ko sinisisi ang administrasyon ito.